What happens when love blooms between two people from countries that are politically divided? What if you're raised to fear, or even hate, someone you've never met? This is the real, beautiful, and inspiring story of Daniel from Israel and Layla from Iran. Two souls whose love crossed borders, barrows, and deep-rooted fear. Daniel was born in Tel Aviv, a tech-savvy, curious young man who loved languages and international culture. Layla, on the other hand, grew up in Tehran, a gifted painter with a passion for poetry and Persian history. Though their countries stood against each other politically, their hearts had no such borders. They met where many modern love stories begin, online. A global cultural forum. Not dating, just discussion. They debated about music, history, food, and eventually, about peace. At first, they didn't even know where the other was from. When they finally found out, they froze. Could they even continue speaking? Could they trust each other? Their countries taught them not to. Despite the initial fear, they kept chatting. Daniel introduced Layla to Israeli folk songs. Layla shared her favorite Persian poems, Rumi, Hafez. They sent each other pictures of their favorite dishes, falafel and sabzi polo. And the conversations turned deeper. Daniel asked, "Have you ever met an Israeli before me?" She answered, "No. I was told you hated us." Daniel replied, "I thought the same about you." They both realized how little they truly knew, and how much they liked what they were discovering. Their friendship slowly turned into something more. Midnight calls. Virtual dates. A shared playlist of songs in Farsi and Hebrew. They learned words in each other's languages, Eshk, love, and Aharva, love. They even celebrated Nowruz and Passover together, virtually. But every moment of connection came with a cost: fear of being discovered, fear of judgment, fear of losing each other because of politics they couldn't control. After a year of virtual love, they decided they had to meet. But there was no way for an Israeli to go to Iran or for an Iranian to go to Israel. So they picked a neutral place, Istanbul, Turkey. They were both nervous. Would it feel the same in real life? But when they finally saw each other, face to face, it was like their hearts had known each other forever. They hugged for minutes without saying a word. They spent a week exploring the city, blending Persian poetry and Hebrew songs, sipping Turkish tea and dreaming of a future, even if it was uncertain. Returning home was the hardest part. They couldn't tell many people. Some friends stopped talking to them. Family didn't understand. They were accused of betrayal. But Daniel and Layla believed that love was the strongest form of resistance. They continued their relationship, planning secret visits through third countries, writing anonymous blog posts about peace, and inspiring others who were stuck in similar situations. Today, Daniel and Layla are not just lovers, they are quiet ambassadors of peace. Their story reminds us that no matter how high walls are built, love finds cracks to bloom through. They dream of a day when they can walk freely in each other's cities, introduce their families, and raise children who speak both Hebrew and Farsi, children raised with the belief that love is stronger than hate. If this story touched your heart, please subscribe to Love Meets Culture, where we share real stories that unite the world through love. Comment below, would you fight for love across borders?